Hi guys, it's Mano here. So welcome back to today's video, top 7 insiders tips to visiting Paris, France. So those 7 tips are going to help you better prepare for your next trip to Paris and will help you have a safer, less stressful vacation. So little side note before we get started in this video. Paris is super in the Halloween spirit right now. It's really gloomy, cold and rainy, so you might not want to visit Paris right at the moment. So my first tip is regarding the RER/metro tickets. So you know, in Paris, you obviously, if you want to take the metro or the underground, you have to pay for tickets, and most tourists, you know that, and you know you need a ticket to enter the underground. But a lot of people don't know or forget that you also need the same ticket to exit the underground. So people will throw it away right when they get in the first train, but don't do that, because in the Paris area you will need your ticket to also get out of the underground. If you get outside of Paris, you might not need to show it at the end, but in Paris itself you have to. So keep your ticket from the moment you enter the underground to the time you exit the underground. So my second tip for you guys is to have maps of Paris on you. So like a regular map with all the streets and the landmarks, and also an underground map, so with the metro and RER. I think it's really important, not only for yourself, if you're lost or if you're going somewhere, it's nice to have a map to refer to, but it's also nice if you want to ask somebody where to go and they don't always understand you. I had a lot of tourists sometimes ask me a specific name and how to get there, and with their accent, maybe even they say the right word, but with their accent I don't always understand them. So if they have a map and they can really just show me where they want to go, or the name, the exact name on the map, then I will help them a lot quicker, a lot better. So have maps on you. So either you can print some online, I'm sure there are a bunch, or for the metro RER, usually you can get some free one in the actual underground in Paris. So these ones are a little old, so I don't know if they changed the design of them, but here we have the regular size one, and then you have the pocket one. So this one is a lot bigger, obviously, and it's easier to, look where you're going because you can see much better. This one might be sometimes hard to read. This one I keep at home for me. Just before I go to Paris, if I go somewhere where I've never been before, I can just look at the map and know where I'm going and write down what RER or metro I want to take. And this one is always with me in my bag because it's so tiny, so you can bring it anywhere. So it's a lot more smaller to read. So I don't have much trouble because my eyes are pretty good, but if you have trouble reading, that might be not the best for you because it's really tiny, but it's still nice to have, especially if you want to show someone else where you're going. Another recommendation is always to mark some key points, key landmarks. So for example, your hotel, always have it, write it on the map so you always know where it is, and if you need to help, you can write it down and you can just show them where it is. So another tip for you guys will be to make sure you walk away from landmarks if you want to eat or buy something, because usually the prices will be more expensive around famous landmarks because all the tourists are there, and many tourists might not want to walk far away to find a restaurant. They will see one right next to the Eiffel Tower and they want to go to that one. So usually they will up their price because they can, because a lot of people come. So if you really want to try to find cheaper prices, try to walk away from landmarks. Honestly, walk kind of random streets and compare prices. Usually what I do with my friends, because I'm not from Paris itself, so I don't always know exactly where to go, but I just walk around, look at different prices and walk more away from landmarks and see if it gets cheaper. And also, sometimes the other day I went to a coffee shop and there were little 2 coffee shops right back to back to each other, and one was almost 1 or 2 euro cheaper than the other one. So of course maybe the decoration is better in the more expensive one, but really depending on what you're looking for, look at even 2 coffee shops that are right next to each other. They might not even have the same prices. So yeah, make sure to compare and walk away from landmarks if you want cheaper prices. So my fourth recommendation or tip for visiting Paris is to know some keywords in French. So for example, thank you, good morning, goodbye, please, stuff like that, just little keywords. I think it's important just because people like when you try to speak French, you don't have to actually know a full conversation, or even to, when you go to a restaurant, you don't have to order in French, but at least say, good morning or hi or excuse me in French, just because the waitress will appreciate it better and you will actually get their attention quicker if you maybe say bonjour than if you say hello. Just sometimes, you know, they will hear somebody try to speak French and they will just like it better. It just seems more polite, I guess, if you try to even just say a word in French. So yeah, I would just recommend to know a couple keywords. You don't have to pronounce this perfect, you don't have to know a lot of words, but just little tiny words that will make the conversation better, that will make someone happy just because you're trying. So another tip I have for you guys is to be aware of scams. There are quite a few scams around the Paris area because of course there are a lot of tourists, so it's nice for people that try to scam because you don't really understand what's going on. So you might do stuff that you usually would not do in your own country because you understand what's going on. So for example, I know in certain areas, people will try to make you sign paperwork. Like they will tell you it's like, you know, sign that and you will help this and these people. But actually it's, be careful because sometimes it's true, but a lot of time it can be scams, and then they will try to send you emails or they will try to get your information. So I would recommend, especially when you're a tourist, just don't walk away, be nice, just say like no thank you, so no merci, and just walk away. There are other kind of scams that they will try to sell you stuff without you wanting it. So there are different places where they will put something on you, so maybe a bracelet, and they will say, you know, like they will make you think you don't have to pay for it, they just try it on. So you will put it around your wrist because they're like kind of forcing you to do it. And once you have it around your wrist, then they will make you pay. So try to, if someone is trying to make you try something, especially if it's something on you, just refuse. Again, say no merci and walk away, because then they might want to try to make you pay for it, and they are going to be sometimes a little aggressive about it just to scare you to pay. So yeah, walk away from all this kind of stuff. So another tip I have for you guys is, if you really love museums, try to consider different museums than the Louvre itself, because the Louvre, of course, is the most famous of Paris, but it's also extremely crowded a lot of times. It's not always year-round, depends on when you're going, of course. But if you're going during a crowded month, then try to look at other museums, because it's going to be more enjoyable for you. Because if you really love paintings or statues or whatever, and you really want to look at them and analyze them, it's going to be hard to do that at the Louvre because there are so many people. It's really crowded, people are pushing, people are like walking in front of paintings all the time, so it's really hard to admire them actually. So if you really want to do that kind of stuff, try to look at other museums that are less famous, less crowded, less touristy, and I think it's just going to be a lot more enjoyable for you. So my last tip for you guys today is my favorite and most simple tip ever, but it's really cliche, but just buy some bread, buy some cheese, buy some wine, and do a little picnic in front of the Eiffel Tower and watch it light up at night. I think it's super cliche because, I don't know, it's what you see in movies and stuff like that, but it's just so great. I think having food, having friends or a lover, and watch the Eiffel Tower light up, it's just awesome. It's just beautiful. I don't know, I love it. Thank you for making it at the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments kind of other videos you would like to see about Paris, about traveling, about French language, whatever you want. Let me know in the comments, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!